This episode is sponsored by Lofoten Arctic Water, which deliver premium water from Norway. Under the northern lights in the Lofoten Islands, the water is made by nature. Lofoten Arctic Water is locally sourced and is filled in sustainable and reusable aluminum bottles. This keeps the water stay cool and fresh for longer. And they have both sparkling and still water, Odin. Which one is your favorite?
I mean, both are excellent, but I have to go with what matches my personality, and that's the sparkling type. They're very fresh, well-balanced, and as we all know, hydration is key to all aspects of life, so remember to stay hydrated and drink Lofoten Arctic Water. If you need more information, just visit lofotenwater.com.
Sjakksnakk med Askild Bryn og Odin Blikker av Vea.
You're always curious as to know like how you're being received, right? Like if this is your first time kind of being put out in the public.
Hi and welcome to a new episode of Sjakksnakk. My name is Askild Bryn, and as always I'm joined by Odin Blikker av Vea, my good friend and co-host. Welcome, Odin.
Thank you.
And today we have a very special guest. Our fans have been longing for this episode. She's a chess player, a chess fan, and Magnus Carlsen's girlfriend. Welcome, Ella Victoria Carlsen. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. You always describe me as a chess player.
I mean, you play chess, right?
I have a chess.com account, so that's pretty much it.
That qualifies, I would say. Yeah,
okay, so we have a lot of chess players in this world.
Correct. Yeah, we have like 500-600 million. So, I mean, we're not all chess professionals.
My rating is like 1,000, 100.
That's pretty good.
Quite decent.
Yeah.
And
enough to follow the games.
You played some chess with my wife the other day. How did that go?
I don't want to talk about it.
She said she lost the first game and she was quite upset.
She lost pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
The second game I lost pretty quickly.
But anyways, you're familiar with chess and you play chess from time to time. That's nice. And tell us a little bit about what you've been up to lately. It's been a lot of traveling.
A lot of traveling. Yeah, I mean, I think we travel pretty much on average every week to 10 days. So we pretty much live out of a suitcase. You know, people ask me like, what is your home? I guess he's my home. I'm his home. We just travel together.
And is it stressful, or have you found like a routine now where it's manageable, it's doable for the two of you, and can you enjoy each other's company while so many things are going on at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy his company. We hang out almost all the time, except for when he's golfing. So I really appreciate that, and except for, of course, when he's playing games. But then I'm there to watch.
Yeah, and you've been traveling to all these tournaments as well. How has that experience been for you? As, I mean, both his girlfriend, but also rooting for him, cheering him on, etc.
And his secretary.
And his secretary as
well?
Yeah,
so we work together. I manage his schedule, and I talk to organizers and set up interviews and all this stuff. So, I mean, it works really well. I'm not just sitting around at the hotel board, you know, twiddling my fingers, watching his games. So I have like a lot to do, but I love it.
And I guess a lot of different people you have to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot. It's nice. I like the chess community. I love it.
And you've been meeting so many chess personalities, organizers, etc. And all the way back in February, both of you were in Weissenhaus in Germany. And that was probably the first time the two of you were pictured together. Was that planned? How was that experience for you?
I think the original plan was for me to just not be seen, but that was obviously really hard. Like, there was one of these videos, I think the first day we arrived at the playing arena, that we get out of the car, the cameras are there, I'm going this way, but I don't know where to go, and then he's going that way, and then it just like, it looked a bit strange, so we decided after that awkward moment that we'd be together.
Amazing. And yeah, I mean, I saw some clips from that tournament which went viral. You were kissing, hugging, and I think everyone could feel the support you were giving him throughout that tournament. And he's been doing so well in 2024. Do you feel that because of you, he's been doing great this year?
I would love to take the credit, but I think it's a mix of things. You know, he's really into golf now, and these chess players, they're kind of in their own worlds because they're always thinking about chess. And for him, when he golfs, I think it really gives him some time off of that constant chess thought, and he's thinking about something else. And those breaks in his life, I think, really help him relax, so that when he's, you know, he's ready for his tournaments.
Then
And
he
he's
can,
not tired.
be more focused
Yeah,
when he's
and he-
ready,
Mhm,
because
be
he
more
get to
present.
relax more. And
Yeah.
And is this something, I mean, Magnus is talking about himself? I mean, the amazing results he's been having this particular year?
Magnus doesn't like to give himself a lot of praise. He's someone who prefers to be hard on himself, and I think that energizes him and it motivates him. But it's something I talk about, and I think a lot of other people around him. But he's a bit hard on himself, so he doesn't bring it up in himself, you know.
And I mean, he's probably won, I don't know, 10, 12 tournaments this year. And do you feel proud every time he's the winner?
Of course, I love to see him win. It makes me incredibly happy, just to see the joy.
Amazing. And how would you typically celebrate a tournament victory?
Food, early night, or actually not an early night. I guess go to bed, he watches golf or some sports for a few hours, and then we sleep. We don't celebrate as in party.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you like about Magnus and how did you fall for him?
He was really sweet when we first met. He was very shy and nervous, and it was very endearing. He's incredibly intelligent. He remembered my birthday immediately, which really flattered me. But turns out he just has a really good memory, so I'm not sure. He remembers everyone's birthday. He's just genuinely he's a breath of fresh air. I don't think a lot of people know that. He's just so authentic and unapologetically himself, and he inspires me. And I love that about him.
Great. Yeah, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background. Where did you grow up?
I was born in Hong Kong and born and raised in Southeast Asia, mostly Singapore. My mom is Norwegian, my dad is American. We lived in Norway for 4 or 5 years when I was a little girl, and then moved back to Asia again, and then I went to boarding school in England and the US, and then university in Canada. After that I moved back to Singapore, but then I moved here and then met him.
So you're used to a lot of traveling and experiencing new countries and cultures?
Yeah, not as much as what we do now, not nearly as much, but I do normally travel. Before I met him, I would travel probably every month at least, and now it's up to 2-3 times. So
before meeting Magnus, were you aware of who he was, and did you know anything about the chess world and the chess scene?
Yeah, so I watched The Queen's Gambit, which I think most people did, and then after I just wanted to see if it was based on a true story, and then I was like, who's the world's best player? And then expecting some really cool woman to be the world's best, and it was Magnus. And I remember oh, look, he's Norwegian, and that was that. And then I didn't think about it after The Queen's Gambit, I got really into chess for 6 weeks. It only lasted 6 weeks because my friends had an intervention. They're like, I was using it to procrastinate for my studies. But they're like, you have to stop because this is getting out of control. And then I haven't played since then. But during that time, I was actually watching Kasparov videos and Gotham Chess, who taught me the fried liver attack, which I still cannot remember to this day. But I remember the name. And then after that, I didn't think about it until I met Magnus. And that was obviously back when the Queen's Gambit came out. So yeah, very, very uninvolved in the chess world until I was flung into it.
Now you're involved.
Yeah.
Very much involved,
first.
right?
Very much.
And what's your impression now of the chess world and the people you meet through chess?
It's my life now. I mean, he's my life. We have other people. We have a life outside of it as well, but I mean, it's very much almost my whole life because of all the traveling. I mean, he's still a very active player. If people consider him retired, then I don't know what his life is like when he's not retired.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Full-time golfer.
And you know Magnus differently than most people. Does he contribute with cleaning and making food and stuff like that, or?
No, but he set his expectations very low from the beginning. He doesn't have many like practical skills when it comes to the house, but you know, that's okay. I'm working a lot as a secretary, so when we need help, like most of the time we go out to eat, and then when the house needs to be cleaned, you know, we have a helper, and the other small things, like I'll do the laundry and he'll take out the trash, and that's what our agreement is.
Yeah, that's nice. And I mean, for the past year, you've increasingly become more famous for many people. I mean, people know who you are. You're in the limelight in the chess world, at least. People know who you are. But how do you deal with the comments on social media, for example, and things like
sort
that?
of hateful comments or... Yeah.
So yeah, I try not to read them. Magnus like doesn't go through any comments, so that's nice. At least I know he's not seeing them. You're always curious as to know like how you're being received, right? Like if this is your first time kind of being put out in the public. It's another reason why I don't want to do interviews, and this is really difficult for me because I don't feel like I can be myself fully when I'm talking to even you guys who are very close friends of mine, because you know, this is going to be publicized. I'm super nervous right now. I'm shaking. I can't even drink this. I don't get a lot of hate comments. The ones I do, you know, people have expectations of who they want his girlfriend to be. And it's hard to live up to that. You know, I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not successful enough. And to him, I am. But it's difficult to see those things.
And Magnus was on the podcast, I would say 1.5 years ago, and Wooden and I was asking him about potentially becoming a father one day. How do you think Magnus will be as a father?
He's gonna be so amazing. That's one of the things like I really loved about him when I first met him. He's so great with kids. You should see him with his nephews and with your children. So much energy.
They love him. It's
I mean, he's a child at heart, so.
And my daughter will come to the venue today to root for Uncle Magnus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she's ready to go.
I think this was in your daughter's 1-year birthday, I think. Him and my daughter, who's 6 now.
Yeah.
She was a bit younger then. They were popping balloons for 2 hours or something. And she's like, he's my best friend.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, for sure. So you can definitely see the two of you having kids, and you being a good mom, and Magnus a good father.
As soon as time allows. Like, he has a busy schedule, and I'm not quite sure how we're going to manage all the traveling with kids, but you know, it's definitely something that we both want.
Yeah, that's very nice. And do you want your children to play chess, or is that something you would try and keep them away from?
No, we'll introduce them, and you know, if they want to continue playing it, they can. I want my kids to know that, you know, they have the freedom to explore whatever they want. Like, we went to this F1 race in Abu Dhabi, and I was like, oh, they're sending their kids to like go-karting school? I think that's what it's called. I was like, maybe we try that. Magnus was very against that idea, though. But, you know, just anything they want, as long, you know, reasonable. As long as it's reasonable.
But imagine if they kind of get his talent and your addiction for chess. That would be a great combination.
My addiction to chess is not nearly as big as his addiction to chess.
True.
Maybe my competitiveness.
You hate to lose.
I hate to lose.
Yeah, I've seen
it's
that.
horrible. That's why I've really like toned it down with the chess, because Magnus has to be like, it's okay, Ella, every time I lose. Yeah.
What about Magnus?
Working on
How
it.
does he react to a tough loss when he's playing important chess games?
I mean, he like gets upset when he has a draw a lot of the time. So he's just incredibly hard on himself, and you know, the best thing to do in those times is just to give him space, because like nothing that I say or anyone else is going to say is going to help him. He listens to himself and only himself. It's his opinion that he trusts and values, and that's an excellent trait to have. He handles it fine.
And I think
He's not like, he can just brood a lot. He can be a bit grumpy when he loses, but that's normal, you know?
Yeah.
The stakes are so high.
And I think he's probably the best in terms of bouncing back from a loss. You never see him lose like multiple games in a row like other top players.
Well, I think another reason he's so successful is because when he loses, it fuels him, and then he just performs better. If I lose, you know, or someone else loses, they might start doubting their skill.
Yeah.
He doesn't do that.
Oh, he's very confident.
Yeah.
Did you do that, Odin, after losing our match this summer?
Yeah, now I'm just getting old and bad. So now, but in my like playing days, I think I had a really good mental approach.
But yeah, I think it's tough for most players at any level. I mean, it's not fun to lose a game of chess, and especially a competitive game in a tournament. So that's understandable.
Do you have any other favorite chess players other than Magnus?
I'm a huge Thing fan. I think he's adorable and sweet, and I was rooting for him in the World Championship. But you know, I'm very happy that Cash won. But yeah.
Same here. I was rooting for Ding as well.
Really?
Yeah.
It's hard not to. I mean, Ding and his mother are the two sweetest people, I think, on this planet. So, yeah.
And in terms of content creators, any favorites there?
I think Chess Space India has some great Bollywood edits on me and Magnus's love story. So I actually quite enjoy those. So I'd say those are my favorite content creators.
And they're gotten quite big as well.
And I think like Sagar and Amruta are so fabulous. I love them.
Yeah, they're super nice. And do you have a favorite chess podcast?
Obviously yours.
Yeah,
the only podcast that I listen to.
Thank you so much.
Sjakksnakk.
And how is Magnus as a chess teacher? I mean, is he trying to help you out with chess from time to time?
Oh, it's really annoying because you gifted your wife chess lessons for
did.
Christmas.
I did.
So this is her, like, she's going to surpass me in our chess.com rating pretty soon. And so I'm like desperate. I'm like, Magnus, like, you have to do something about this. Like, I need chess lessons either from you or someone else. And he like doesn't want to teach me. He's like, can you ask my sisters? I don't think they wanted to teach me. And then I asked David Howell. He said maybe. but Magnus is like, he's honestly an excellent teacher. He tries to, this is what like when I lose, he wants to go through the games. And I'm done with the game. If I've lost it, like I don't even want to look at it. I don't even want to look at my laptop. I'm logging out of chess.com. So I'm more of win until you lose, and then that's, you know, enough. But that doesn't help me.
Yeah, and Magnus probably says that.
But then I pick up the laptop 2 minutes later.
Okay.
I have a fast rebound rate.
But
But like the thing is, my issue is that I don't want to go through the games, and he wants to go through the games, and so I think he wants to push that responsibility of teaching me to someone else. But he is a good teacher.
Is that trait transferable to life in general? That he wants to analyze situations or things that happened?
Maybe some things like golf for sure.
Yeah, games in general probably.
Yeah, games. When it comes to everything else, he just doesn't care enough. He's very focused on what he loves, and everything outside of that doesn't matter too much to him.
Do you have any goals in chess? Goals on chess.com, for example?
Yeah, my goal is to
beat my wife.
Beat your wife. Yeah, I have I mean, I love her. She's one of my best friends now. But yeah, we have a healthy, spirited chess.
She's your chess frenemy or something?
Yeah, my chess frenemy.
Yeah.
That's who she is.
But do you think it's doable?
She's also a sore loser. Did I say that?
Yes,
Okay, I
yes.
didn't
Yeah,
mention
yeah.
that.
We can mention it
People should
twice.
know, yeah.
But do you think it's doable to cross, let's say, 1,500 on chess.com? Or even maybe 2,000 down the road?
2,000, doubt it. 1,500, give me like... I went from, I think, being, when I first met him, about a 700 rated player to 1,100 now, after he taught me some openings and just like some things, just principles or techniques or rule of thumbs to go by.
Yeah, general principles.
General principles to follow. But if I actually picked up a book or started watching some more Gotham chess, like who knows where I could be.
Yeah, absolutely. And lastly, some talk about your plans in the future. What's going on in 2025? Any exciting projects or travels you've been planning?
Freestyle chess, Grand Slam Tour, my favorite tournament series ever. Maybe it's because of the people. I love Jan and Holly and Jan's daughter, and I love the format. I love the players. I love the outfits. I love the destinations.
Yeah, talk a little.
I love everything about it.
Destinations.
Yeah. What type of destinations?
First one's gonna be Germany. Then I'm hoping it's Paris. Where are the other ones? It kind of changes. I know there's Singapore again.
New York?
New York was planned, yeah. I think India's a possibility.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they kind of pick more tropical locations, but we'll see. And then there's this other thing. It's called Take that he's doing, which I find really exciting. And it's how I watch his games now. I love watching Kaya and Jon Ludvig Hamid
and the app is
commentating.
great as well.
The app is fantastic, super easy to use, and there's a lot of exciting things ahead.
Do you have any favorite chess destinations or tournaments by now?
Well, the freestyle for sure is my favorite.
So going back to Germany next year is
Yeah.
something you're looking forward to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
And you see 2025 as like a year of traveling, or will you settle down somewhere, or what's your plans? And
ideally we would have more time to settle down and be in one place. But we just don't have time.
Yeah.
We're already going through the 2025 schedule and there's a lot to do. Oh, and then there's this esports thing that chess.com and esports is doing. I'm really excited for that. That's in Saudi Arabia, the final.
Wow.
Connected to CCT. So it's going to be great.
You'll be here in Norway sometime. Yeah, some of the year as well, I guess.
Norway chess.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're going to be here
Summertime.
as much as we can, and especially during summertime. Magnus cannot play a lot of golf now, so he's trying to avoid Norway as much as possible.
And Ella, we're close to done. We have a couple of questions from our Instagram account. And the first one, ask her if she can please try to convince Magnus to make a comeback in the World Chess Championship.
Doing that, it will just be along something with freestyle instead of classical formats. I don't think he'll be returning to classical, but I don't know. Next question.
And one from Ola, he's asking, can she sometimes notice Magnus not paying full attention, notice that he's of course playing chess in the back of his head?
Yes, all the time. Honestly, he's quite good at being present. I think I was talking to some of the WAGs, the wives and girlfriends of these chess players, and they also felt like chess players can be a bit, in their own head. But Magnus, with all his other hobbies and interests, it's gotten a lot better than when I first met him.
Amazing. That's that. Thank you so much, Ella, for taking time to meet with us. And I know you're very busy these days, so thanks again. And,
thank you for having me.
We hope to have you back on the podcast sometime.
Yeah, absolutely.
then there's only one thing left to say.
Vi snakkes!